The world is a place of infinite wonder, yet some mysteries defy explanation, leaving us with more questions than answers. Today, we're exploring 10 of the most shocking unsolved mysteries of all time. Each case is rooted in reality, steeped in intrigue, and continues to captivate investigators, theorists, and the public alike. Let's delve into these astonishing stories. 1. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, March 8, 2014, marked one of the most puzzling events in modern aviation history. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, bound for Beijing, but it never reached its destination. With 239 people on board, including passengers and crew, the aircraft disappeared from radar approximately 40 minutes into the flight. What followed was one of the largest and most expensive search operations in history. Parts of the aircraft were later discovered on remote shores of the Indian Ocean, such as Reunion Island in Madagascar, confirming it had crashed. However, the reasons remain unknown. Some theorize pilot suicide, others suggest a mechanical malfunction, and a few even propose sabotage. The plane's black boxes, which could have shed light on its final moments, remain unrecovered. Families of the victims still demand answers, but naming MH370's disappearance endures as one of aviation's most haunting mysteries. 2. The Zodiac Killer. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, a shadowy figure terrorized Northern California, the Zodiac Killer. Known for targeting couples in secluded areas, the Zodiac claimed responsibility for at least 5 murders, though he hinted at committing many more. His reign of terror wasn't confined to physical violence. He sent taunting letters to local newspapers filled with cryptic ciphers. One of the Zodiac's ciphers was finally cracked in 2020, more than 50 years later. However, the decoded message offered no new leads on the killer's identity. Over the years, dozens of suspects have been investigated, but no one has been definitively linked to the crimes. The Zodiac case stands as a chilling reminder of how elusive justice can be, and his story continues to inspire films, documentaries, and true crime discussions. 3. The mystery of the Somerton Man. On December 1, 1948, the body of an unidentified man was discovered on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. Dressed in a suit, the man had no identification, and the labels on his clothes had been removed. An autopsy failed to determine the cause of death, and the only clue was a rolled-up scrap of paper in his pocket bearing the words "Tamam Shud," meaning "it is finished" in Persian. The investigation uncovered a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam in which the phrase had been torn out, along with an untraceable phone number. Over the decades, theories ranged from espionage to a secret love affair. In 2022, DNA analysis suggested the man might have been Carl Webb, a Melbourne electrical engineer, but why he died and what brought him to Adelaide remain unanswered, keeping this case as mysterious as ever. 4. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In January 1959, 9 Soviet hikers embarked on a trek through the Ural Mountains, but none of them returned. When their camp was discovered weeks later, investigators found their tent ripped open from the inside, with their belongings scattered. The hikers' bodies were located under mysterious circumstances. Some were found with severe internal injuries, others had missing eyes or tongues, and all were inadequately dressed for the freezing weather. Theories have ranged from a Yeti attack to secret military tests, and even UFOs. In recent years, Russian authorities concluded that a rare type of avalanche might have been responsible. However, critics argue that this doesn't explain all the injuries or the strange behavior of the hikers. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a chilling example of how nature, or something else, can leave us with more questions than answers. 5. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. The case of Madeleine McCann is perhaps one of the most famous missing person cases in modern history. On May 3, 2007, Madeleine, a 3-year-old British girl, vanished from her family's holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, while her parents dined at a nearby restaurant. The investigation has been marked by controversial police work and countless theories from abduction to accidental death. Over the years, numerous suspects have been identified, including Christian Bruckner, a German convicted sex offender. While some evidence points to his involvement, authorities have yet to confirm his role. Madeleine's disappearance remains a heartbreaking enigma, with her parents continuing to seek answers to this day. 6. The Villisca Axe Murders. On the night of June 9, 1912, in Villisca, Iowa, an entire household was brutally murdered. Josiah Moore, his wife, their 4 children, and 2 visiting girls were found bludgeoned to death with an axe. Despite extensive investigations and several suspects, including Reverend George Kelly and serial killer Henry Lee Moore, no one was ever convicted. The crime scene itself added to the mystery. All mirrors in the house were covered, and a plate of untouched food was found. Paranormal enthusiasts believe the house is haunted, drawing visitors from around the world. However, the lack of closure for the families makes this case one of America's most chilling unsolved mysteries. 7. The case of D.B. Cooper. In one of the most audacious crimes in history, a man known as D.B. Cooper hijacked a flight from Portland to Seattle on November 24, 1971. After demanding and receiving $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes, Cooper jumped from the plane into the dark, rainy skies over Washington state. Despite an extensive manhunt, Cooper's identity and fate remain unknown. Some of the ransom money was found along the Columbia River in 1980, but no other evidence has surfaced. Over the years, numerous suspects have been suggested, including Robert Rackstraw and Richard Floyd McCoy, but none have been definitively proven to be Cooper. The case was closed in 2016, yet it continues to fascinate and frustrate investigators. 8. The Black Dahlia Murder. On January 15, 1947, the body of aspiring actress Elizabeth Short was discovered in a vacant lot in Los Angeles. Her body had been mutilated, drained of blood, and carefully posed. Dubbed the Black Dahlia by the press, her murder shocked the nation. Despite investigating hundreds of suspects, the LAPD was unable to solve the case. Over the years, theories have pointed to figures ranging from Hollywood insiders to police officers. Some have even claimed that Short's murder was part of a larger conspiracy. The gruesome details and media frenzy surrounding the case have kept it in the public eye for decades, making it one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in American history. 9. The disappearance of the Soder children. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Soder family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, caught fire. While 4 children and their parents escaped, 5 children were presumed to have perished in the blaze. However, no remains were found, leading the family to suspect foul play. Over the years, numerous clues suggested the children may have been kidnapped. A strange phone call, a cut power line, and a ladder missing from the property raised suspicions. The family even received a photograph of a man resembling one of their sons years later. Despite their relentless search, the fate of the Soder children remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in American history. 10. The Yuba County Five. In February 1978, 5 young men went missing after attending a basketball game in California. Their car was found abandoned in a remote forest area, and months later, the emaciated body of Ted Wire was discovered in a nearby cabin. The other men were eventually found dead under equally mysterious circumstances. The group's reasons for venturing into the wilderness remain unclear. Some believe they were chased, while others speculate a tragic misunderstanding or a mental health episode. The lack of a clear explanation, combined with the eerie details, makes this case one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries in modern history. Unsolved mysteries like these capture our imagination and remind us of the complexities of life and the limits of our understanding. Each case is a puzzle waiting to be solved, leaving behind a legacy of intrigue and speculation. If you were as captivated by these stories as we were, be sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more compelling content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.